Hi guys, welcome to another audio video elaborating Job 29 of the King James Version Bible. And it reads, Moreover, Job continued his parable and said, Oh, that I were as in months past, as in the days when God preserved me, when his candle shined upon my head, and when by his light I walked through darkness, as I was in the days of my youth, when the secret of God was upon my tabernacle, when the Almighty was yet with me, when my children were about me, when I washed my steps with butter, and the rock poured me out rivers of oil, when I went to the gate through the city, when I prepared my seat in the street, the young men saw me and hid themselves, and the aged arose and stood up. The princes refrained talking and laid their hand on their mouth. The nobles held their peace, and their tongue cleaved to the roof of their mouth. When the air heard me, then it blessed me, and when the eye saw me, it gave witness to me. Because I delivered the poor that cried, and the fatherless, and him that had none to help him. The blessing of him that was ready to perish came upon me, and I caused the widow's heart to sing for joy. I put on righteousness, and it clothed me. My judgment was as a robe and a diadem. I was eyes to the blind, and feet was I to the lame. I was a father to the poor, and the cause which I knew not I searched out. And I brake the jaws of the wicked, and plucked the spoil out of his teeth. Then I said, I shall die in my nest, and I shall multiply my days as the sand. My root was spread out by the waters, and the dew lay all night upon my branch. My glory was fresh in me, and my bow was renewed in my hand. Unto me men gave ear, and waited, and kept silence at my counsel. After my words they spake not again, and my speech dropped upon them. And they waited for me as for the rain, and they opened their mouth wide as for the latter rain. If I laughed on them, they believed it not, and the light of my countenance they cast not down. I chose out their way, and sat chief, and dwelt as a king in the army, as one that comforteth the mourners. Alright, guys. So, in this parable, in this chapter, Job is continuing with his parable, and he's speaking of basically, he's saying himself, okay, because he's saying that he carried out righteous acts. He helped the lame, he helped the sick, he helped the widow, he helped the fatherless, and all these things he did. And so he basically multiplied because of these things, okay? And so the Lord had sustained him, and let his light shine through him because of all that he did, all the good that he did for others. And he didn't do them for glory, but he received it, and the Lord basically got his glory. He was somewhat being, kind of coming off as kind of cocky, for lack of a better word at this point in time, because he was saying, I clothe myself in righteousness. He clothed himself in righteousness. But righteousness is not for man. Men do not basically dictate righteousness. It is God that does that. And God did say he was righteous in his sight. And that's the reason why the Lord boasted about Job to the devil when the devil had came into the council of the angels. And here we see where he's saying, okay, this is it. Okay, I was clothed in righteousness, and that's the reason why I shown all these years. This is why all these years God's favor was with me. Okay, and here it is that I'm at this point now, but In those days, I was clothed in righteousness, and I have not turned away from this. Okay, I have not turned away from this. So even though I'm in the state, I have not turned away from the Lord. I have not turned away from the Lord. The people have turned away from me, but I've not turned away from the Lord. And basically, that's what I got from this chapter. You're free to actually contradict this, but I don't think there's anything to contradict. But you're free to have your own thoughts on this. And I guess it would be a good topic for discussion, this parable being explained, and what our interpretations are of this parable that is given, or this chapter rather, because a part of the parable was already given in the previous chapter. Alright, so guys, I'm going to leave you right there. Please remember to continue to walk in your salvation, and if you've not yet gained it, then seek it. There's no better time to begin than the present. Have yourselves a blessed day. Bye.